Hi everyone, welcome back to Calvi Homestead. My name is Brooke and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. As you can tell by the title of my video, we sold our homestead. So why am I standing in my garden? Let's walk through the garden real quick and then we'll get to it. Alright, so this year's garden has been struggling. It has been so hot. It's even almost been too hot to come outside and make videos. We've had heat indexes of 107, 110, and it's just been miserable. And we're dealing with pests. So you can see here. And then there's a big one over here. One of our melons. So these aren't actually pests eating those. I guess they're considered a pest, but we've had turtles in here eating our melons. So sad. And then here was that big, beautiful row of winter squash. That is just the heat has just really been getting to it. And we have harvested off of these. We've been harvesting some of these winter squash early and kind of eating them as like a summer squash. We do need to come in and do a pepper harvest because there's just tons of peppers on. But as you can see, we didn't really fully truss up these tomatoes like we should. Well, I guess we trussed them up, but we didn't prune them really well. And then on top of the heat, they have just been struggling. So you can see there's green tomatoes on here, but I mean, and then we're getting pests like that. I need to pull that off. And then let's walk around here. You can just see just some of them. We just didn't really give it the love and attention it needed because, well, I was busy selling my homestead. Oh my goodness. See, these turtles have been dragging these melons away and eating them. Ugh, it's so frustrating. You can see this tomato plant's just done. I might as well just pull that out. These are pretty much done. That one's blushing. I need to go ahead and pick that. But yeah, it's been a rough tomato season. And come around here, the flowers, calendula and marigolds. Lots of calendula and marigolds in the garden, which is nice. And then I think I skipped these. Yes. So we have some, these are the Turkish eggplants. We've harvested several of these and they're really good. And then down here, I'm not going to do a full garden tour. I'm just kind of showing you what we're working with here. We got some eggplants coming on. Here's another one coming on. I got a bigger one somewhere. Well, we just picked a couple. There we go. There's a cutie. These are so adorable. And then there. Then, of course, the okra. Usually it gets like 8-9 foot tall. And you can see it's not that. And we've been their okra's coming on there. They're just tiny. I mean, like the plants are tiny. They're still producing. But even look at these down here. These little short guys. And I need to pick those. These are pole beans on this fence line here. And they were planted at the beginning of the season. And they are just struggling. Like that's as far as they've gotten. We haven't harvested anything off them. Nothing. So yeah, that's just, and of course there's tons of weeds. Look at this. This little teeny plant with okra on it. This one with okra on it. So yeah, it's actually about 76 degrees out. Right now it's still pretty humid, but the one thing that has been doing really well so far is this row, starting here, down of edamame. And we're pretty close to harvesting these. We're just going to pull the plants and harvest all these pods. And then, just separate them out. or portion them out into bags. And I don't know if we'll blanch them. I'll have to look that up. And then freeze them. And then when we're ready to eat, we'll steam them and salt them. Great source of protein, but they're just loaded. All of them are loaded. Obviously, the cucumbers have been struggling. We've gotten some massively bitter cucumbers. So we planted another round in some grow bags on a trellis. But we should still have enough in time in the season. I think we have about 75 days left to be able to get a cuke harvest. I need to come out and harvest some of these smaller tomatoes. But yeah, oh man, look at this. These turtles are just decimating our melons. Decimating. And it's so sad. I need to actually just come through here and lift up all these vines and try to find them and relocate them out of the garden. They find their way back in, but yeah, we've caught the turtles in here munching. So I don't know if they're all turtles or what. But yeah, so that's a little overview of the garden. This whole row's peppers, and we need to harvest all those. But yeah, that's the garden update. See, the melons are trying to climb, but like I said, it's been so hot. So we got some cukes in here that we're hoping will climb. Marigold's over there. She's put up right now to be milked tonight, so she's yelling at me. And then we got some more cukes in here. I want to say dill in here, more cukes in here. They're coming up. We only planted those 2 days ago, I think. So hopefully, let me back up. Hopefully we can try to get this trellis with a little bit on it. I'm going to go ahead and pick these melons that have been eaten on. And then we'll sit down and talk. And then I'll show you something. So, sitting in my garden, I want to explain to you what's going on. You sold your homestead. Why are you still in your garden? First of all, I told you it was like 76, 80 degrees out, but the humidity, like, look, I just pour down with sweat. This is probably one of the only times you'll see me with my hair down, and I'm even regretting that a little bit now because it's still a little bit humid. Okay, so my husband and I and my son, we bought a house 5 years ago. And made it our homestead. Now, we only sat on about 1.5 acres. But of course, I'm the type of person that wants to go large scale. I mean, I want it all. And I know, I think everybody wants that. But my parents actually own between 70 and 80 acres. I don't know the exact number. It might be 72 acres. And they have a 7 or 8 acre pasture. Lots of fields. Well, I say lots of fields, but like a large field for the garden. And they have a house. They have a huge shop. And so whenever I show you guys my cows, they're actually my cows and my mom's cows, like family cows. Whenever I show you guys stuff like that, I'm actually at my mom's homestead. And whenever I did this garden tour with you guys in this garden behind me, that's actually on my mom's property. I did a lot of stuff here, and I was here a ton, and we lived about 45 minutes to an hour away from them. Now with the housing market being the way it is, our house was, worth a little bit of money. And I was thinking, or my husband and I both were thinking, like, let's sell the house. Let's buy our dream farm. But still, the dream farm aspect was still just out of reach. And so we ended up deciding to sell our house, sell our homestead, and come where our homestead already is, which is on my parents' property. So we sold our house. We just closed about 4 days ago, and I've been eager to tell you guys about it, but at the same time, it's like one of those things, like, I don't want to say it out loud until it's done, because what if it doesn't happen? And so there were always times during this whole process, the whole home selling process, that is it going to fall through? Is it going to happen? I didn't know. And I really just didn't want a chance like telling everybody publicly and then it falling through and like not happening. But it went through. It went good. Of course it was stressful. I'm just a person that stresses in general. And now we are here at my parents' property where all of my cows and my garden and now my chickens and turkey are. And you're probably thinking, okay, so what now? Right now, all of our stuff is in totes. We have a storage unit. Some of it is in my parents' house. And we are currently sleeping in the basement. Now that is super temporary because we have decided that we are going to buy a 43-foot fifth wheel trailer and put it on the property stationary. Now, and I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, you guys are going to be living in a camper. That sounds miserable. But at the same time, it's a little bit different for us because we still have access to my parents' house and we still have access to the huge shop and, you know, a washer and dryer and electric and water. And so, yeah, we're going to be staying in our 43-foot camper. That is going to be our home. But we still have the conveniences of an actual home and property and a shop. And if I want to go, and you know, we love doing family dinners and stuff like that. But it's kind of where we will have our own space, but at the same time can utilize other spaces on the property besides just having a camper. So we're really excited. We already have, like I said, this is the part where I'm like, I don't want to say anything out loud because if it falls through, but we do know what camper we want. We have been speaking to the people who own it, and we're in the logistical part of this phase, and I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks to have that trailer set up here. And so I'm sitting in the garden now, the big garden. Let me pick you up. So if I stand up and we're looking back behind, so I'm trying to say this is all backwards. Over here, am I doing that right? Yeah. Over here behind the garden, over here, that's where our camper is going to be. So we're really excited to be near our animals, to be near everything like that. But we've already made new additions. Now we do have our chickens here and we do have our turkey here already. So here's the garden, and I'm going to flip you around and let's walk over here. All right, guys, we are now on the side-by-side. This is my son, and he saw me making a video, so he promptly got his iPad and decided he wanted to start making a video as well. But I'm going to show you over here. This is the big garden. This section of the garden, let me scoot up a little bit. This is where the ducks were. There are no longer any ducks, but yeah, we're going to cut all this down on this side. And I think we're going to do this side of the garden raised bed because the soil here, I told you in my last video, we'll be working on soil health. Oh man, it is just, we need some raised beds in here too, because that's part of our problem in the garden this year is the heat and the soil health. And it's just, we're going to try to build up the soil over there, but then also have our raised beds over there. So this all is the garden, the humongous garden. I think our original plan was to do 50 by 50 and, you know, we just kind of overshot it. If you look on this side, across this little driveway, this is a little shed that was here. The stuff over here was just some stuff inside it. Like I told you, we've only been here a few days. We just closed a few days ago. Let's go over here real quick. He's over here showing his chickens. But this is where our chickens and turkey are. We just added a very, very rough run for them right now to be in. So we'll be working on that too. This is These are out because I need to wash them, and I'll show you why. But so here's the garden, and then there's this big fields, and our camper is gonna go roughly from here to here. So it's gonna sit back here, not right up against the fence, but over here by the fence. And we picked this spot. We do have to run electric over here. But this, you can't tell right now, but this spot stays shaded most of the day. So we'll probably be about from here all the way, not quite to those trees and blackberry patch, out a little bit from the gate. But it stays mostly shaded most of the day. I think 2 hours of the day we don't have shade, but because of those trees. And then if you go back to this corner, we'll drive back here. This is new and exciting. I do have my melons. There were 4 in here that were casualties from last night. I think I had 2 the day before. So this side is fenced off. There's a little pond in here. This side is fenced off, and this side is fenced off over here. These are actually my mom's coonies. Now I help take care of them, you know, because obviously my parents are letting us stay here, but they're not technically mine. But these are the coonies. These are the males right here, and these are the girls. Now we thought they were pregnant, but we haven't really seen any sign of pregnancy yet. I've already been in here with them, giving them snacks and stuff. So we're gonna give these ladies and gentlemen some melons, but before we were even 2 days on our new homestead here, we got these little babies, these little guys. So these are 4 feeder hogs. One is leaving this weekend. One of the white ones are going to be leaving this weekend because we sold it to someone else just at cost. We picked it up for them. And then we're going to be growing out 3. One for us, one for a family member, and then one for a really good family friend. And they're going to pay us for the cost, but we're not charging them anything. And my son has been loving them. So these are our new first additions to the new combined homesteads. So let's get these melons. Let's throw some to these guys first because they're being lippy. You guys being lippy with us. Oh, I can't break these apart with one hand. All right, I'm just throwing them in. This is Lola and Loretta. They'll fight over it. We'll get this other big one for the boys. This is Lance, and this is Alf, short for alfalfa. All right. And then we'll give these 2 for the babies. Actually, they love grass. My son just put a bowl of grass in there. They love the grass. Hi, babes. I don't like whatever this is. Okay, look what I got for you. Look what I got for you. They are so sweet. They were super skittish. And like I said, we've only had them for 2 days. And they've already been really getting a lot better at the skittishness. Now let's just appreciate the chomping of little piglets. Aren't they adorable? So these guys are, I think they said 9 weeks old. All right, so these guys were about 9 weeks old when we got them. That's what we were told, obviously. And when I was actually looking, I was in a Facebook group for feeder hogs in my state, and I made a post that I was looking for feeder hogs that were roughly 50 to 75 pounds. And so we drove about an hour and a half to get these guys, and they are not 50 to 75 pounds. They are probably about 35 pounds. So we will have to grow them out a little longer. We did talk to them about their size, and they legit thought they were about 50 to 60 pounds. So we made the drive, we made the commitment, we pulled out the money, and we ended up taking them. I truly do not think they were trying to be dishonest. I just don't think they knew, really. And they're adorable, for one. Their property, like all of their animals looked taken care of. So I felt comfortable. Like, you know, sometimes you just have a feeling like it's going to be okay. Now, had I got the gut feeling that, probably not a good idea, then no, I wouldn't have taken them. So, man, I'm about to put my hair up. It's about that time. So we're very excited. Now I showed you the pen they're in. That is a small pen. One of them is leaving this weekend, and we are also doubling their pen that they're in now. I'm just going to wait till they get a little bit bigger. And we have time. But that pen was already there, set up. So that's the one we're using now. It will be doubled, and there'll be one last piglet. So we're super excited, and I'm so excited because my son has just been loving them. And really, we've only been out here 4 or 5 days-ish. We've had the piglets 2 days. And he has just really taken to all of this. Everything I love. I love raising my own food. I love taking care of animals. I love gardening. And he never really showed a ton of interest in it. My son, he's 7, until we got out here. You know, he would walk up to strangers and be like, my mom is a homesteader and we raise our food. But like, as far as like being involved, he didn't really have any interest, and I wasn't going to force him into it. But as soon as we got here, he said, Mom, I want my own chicken coop. I want my own breeding flock of chickens. That he wants to raise silkies. And he told me I had to explain to him several times that these are feeder hogs. These are being raised specifically for meat. And he does want to get into 4-H and raise 4-H hogs. But I said, these are specifically for me. Like, you have to understand, we're not keeping, he's like, oh, my pets. And I'm like, no, these aren't pets. These are feeders. And he said, Mom, can I get some hogs to breed? Can I get breeder hogs? And I'm like, well, that's something we'll talk about. Definitely. Let's see how you are with these guys. See if you really like it. See if you like raising them. I obviously help him with everything. And we've only been out here 4 or 5 days, and he is just engulfed in it all, which makes me so happy. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. We do still have some preserving to do with you guys. Obviously we've been extremely busy moving, which is why not a lot of content has been coming out at all, since my last garden tour video. I kind of gave you a quick tour today, and it's looking pretty pitiful, but we are getting some fall stuff to go in, and we'll be setting up those raised beds on the other side. Finally going to be milking the cow since I've gotten here. I stopped at a convenience store the other day to get milk, and I just felt ridiculous because I have 2 milk cows, and it was $7 for a gallon of milk. And I know it was because I stopped at a convenience store. It's like a mini grocery store slash gas station. But man, $7, that killed me. I can buy raw milk from my cow mentor and for $8 a gallon-ish. So I was like, oh my gosh. And I think the lady even said at the counter, you might as well get your own milk cows with milk being this price. I'm like, I do. I have milk cows and I'm in here buying milk. So yeah, I put Pumpkin up today. We're going to milk her tonight, finally. And she is still feeding her calves. She only has one, but she adopted a calf too. And they're getting pretty big, but we are going to consistently start milking her. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much, for being here. We sold our homestead, but we still have a homestead, and it's the homestead you always see whenever I make videos. I did make some videos at my other homestead, but most of the work goes in here, and I'm just so happy to be here. And I'm really excited, and I want to share the process with you guys of moving this camper up here and living in a fifth wheel camper. Yeah, so if you guys have any tips for me, that would be awesome as far as living stationary in a fifth wheel. But yeah, thank you for being here. I'm gonna take a little drive and I'll take you along with me, but I hope to see you here next time. Bye guys. Show you the guides the shade right now. Here's the shaded part where the camper will be. Small garden, which I should have renamed the weed garden now because it's pretty much just weeds. More of the pasture over here. This right here is our feed barn where all the feed is kept. This is the large shop. That's just my car sitting there. And then down the hill down there is the house. Thanks guys for being here today.